natural desire to climb the highest mountains and explore. But whether you just don't want to buy a brand new, off-roader, or you just want something durable that lasts, here is a list of the best off-roaders you can buy under $9,000. These are all, of course, going to be used. Now, I think it's important to talk about why you should buy a used car, right? Because it seems like a lot of people, a used car is a compromise, right? They think, oh, I'm buying a used car, I couldn't afford a new one, that's what that means. No, I think used cars and off-roading are a lot of times better than new cars. New cars just are not built to the same standards anymore. And, like a new car on your new 4Runner, as you're pulling it up that mountain, as you're pulling it up that hill, if you scratch the paint, that's going to be an issue, right? Because it's a brand new car. A lot of people just want to get up the damn hill, get back down, and then still be able to drive it home, right? And all these vehicles, I think, would be able to do this perfectly. Now, some are on the bigger side, some are on the smaller side. I tried to keep it under $7,000. One of these it's above $7,000 in hundreds, not like 8,500 or something, just because it's in really good condition. Remember, the listings that I pick aren't necessarily what I think you should specifically buy. They're just showing off the vehicles, because if I were to just sit here and show you brand new, parts of vehicles, you wouldn't get an idea of what the listings are actually like. So that, I'm not going to get into it. I'm wasting time even discussing it in the first place. So the first car on this list is the first generation Toyota Highlander. These things were actually really great. Now remember, there is kind of two different types of off-roading. You have this kind of off-roading where, it's very, very difficult, but there's still kind of a trail. There's a path. You're not, off-roading, like rock climbing, like this type of off-roading. That's mainly what a lot of these vehicles are for. They're not made for like the, this kind of stuff, the rock climbing, 4 wheels are off the air, it's being held up by a tree branch. They're not really made so much for this off-roading as they are, destination seeing and stuff like that, which I think is okay anyway, because people know that you need a serious off-roader for that, right? The Toyota Highlander is just amazing. Steel wheels, if you get scratched up, you're not going to care. The big plastic bumper, just take it off, put a push bumper bar on there, and you'll be fine. These cars, they're great, and they're always going to be reliable and good, no matter what happens, right? A leather interior. A lot of people, like I said, they have this idea about used cars in their head. Like, oh, it's going to be crappy, it's going to be outdated, but I actually think a lot of the used cars that are out there are better than new cars today. Like this Toyota Highlander, I know is going to last so long. In fact, it already has. I'll check the listing in a minute to see how many miles it has. So I believe it was 100,000 in the hundreds. So yeah, again, the interior is just very nice, and it's held up really, really well. That's very telling about this vehicle, If you just give it some TLC, maybe it doesn't even need new leather. Maybe just, get some of the scratches up off the paint, all that, even WD-40. It'll be fine. With some TLC, this can be like your dream car. $6,000. This is 103 miles. I was spot on. And 2002 Highlander Limited. Again, the leather is going to be nice for ages. This car is going to be nice for ages. Those steel wheels aren't for looking nice, right? Again, they do. I would think they do look nice than just the black standard, Chevy Cavalier Steelies. But, they're built to last rather than cutesy. The next car on this list is one that I will always preach from, the top of the hills, the top of the mountain, down to the people. And that is the Mitsubishi Endeavor. It seems like no one really, they've seen one of these and then they think it's like a Montero or something. And they don't really know what it is, and they don't really care, right? Because they're not looking for it. But people who are looking for budget off-roaders, this is stinking great. So as we're flipping through the photos here, I want you to ask how much you think this costs. I believe this has 200,000 miles on it. Nice wheels, two-tone diamond cut wheels. This is a 2004, which is 2 years newer than that Toyota Highlander. And again, these cars are notorious for lasting a long time. You have your weird cylindrical AC button, your climate controls, your built-in radio, all this stuff. You have heated seats, which is just amazing, and an interior so durable that you could probably kick the dashboard repeatedly, and nothing's going to move a centimeter. A hairline, not the width of a strand of hair, is not going to move at all. The dashboard's going to stay firmly planted in place. These wonderful wheels, it doesn't look like it's had that many miles on it. This car is $3,000, and it only has 144,000 miles, which, remember, a lot of these cars, the engines are perfectly fine. The exterior is just a little bit rough. Give it some WD-40, maybe give it a wheel bearing or two, and it'll be fine. It'll drive like a brand new car, right? 2004 Mitsubishi Endeavor, all-wheel drive. Again, four-wheel drive, it's kind of better in certain rock climbing situations, but come on, it has great ground clearance. All-wheel drive will be enough to get you up here, right? These are always great, and they're always so durable, and I think that the Mitsubishi Endeavor is always, on the same level as Toyotas and Hondas of the same age. Speaking of Hondas, the next car on this list is the first generation Honda Pilot. Now, this is just showing you how great of a deal the Endeavor is. This car with diamond cut wheels and the top trim EXL is also like $300, but yeah. Oh, wow, I didn't realize how similar they were in price. They're both the same year. Wow, I expected the Honda to be more expensive. I was confusing this with yeah. Wow, great. Wow, both the same price. Great. I would honestly rather have this than the, Endeavor. I like the interior better. I trust Honda more than I trust Mitsubishi, especially during the 90s. But hey, well, like the early thousands. But hey, still an amazing car. These first generation pilots, living in, Oregon for a while when I visited them, in my childhood, a lot of people would buy these, right? Because they're good off-road, because families, in Oregon, they like to have fun. You almost have to when you live in Oregon. Because I live in, like, the rural, like, you have to drive hours from Portland to get their thing. And they just bought these brand new, and they all still have them. I remember there was like 3 people. Remember, Oregon's not that big, with a not very dense population. But all 3 people that bought these still have them and have not bought a new car since. They last for stinking ever. These cars never die. Do they have some issues over the years? Yes. They need oil changes. How awful. But other than that, these cars are fine. Give it some routine maintenance. Like I said, maybe polish the paint, clean the interior. It'll be fine. These cars are still amazing today. Not bad at all. 100% would buy these. Now, this next one is a smaller off-roader. We've talked about the benefits of having a smaller off-roader rather than a big rig like we've seen before, or not really a big rig, but you know what I mean. The RAV4, now this generation of RAV4, you may think, why would I pick this when you can get a 2013 for close to, how much is this one? You can get like a 2013 for $7,000 if you know where to look. So why would I pick this generation? Because this picture says it all. Great decline, great approach angles, those big stubby wheels. If the body covers like 70% of the wheel, right? You know what I mean? Like the sills and the bumper. It's not worth anything. You could have 1,000,000-inch wheels on there, and it's still going to be 2 inches of ground clearance, right? But these big stubby wheels, like I said, great approach, great decline angles. It's short, and yet it's functional, right? A lot of these short cars, like the first generation RAV4, the first generation Honda CR-V, they felt cramped, right? You felt like, they really had to trim some off the back to make this fit. This feels fine, right? Rear tire in the back, again, steel wheels. They're not for show, they're for actual work. And you can see the rusting is not that bad on this car, which is great. You have great amount of storage room in the back, right? And this is square, and people are shocked. Well, not shocked. I'm not going to over-exaggerate this, but people are often, they make this face when they see the back of it because they're used to, like, the back seats all being either one part or having, like, a protector there. Like, they're not used to having each. Like, these seats are more like the front seats and that they're both individual seats. The ground, it's a little bit weird. It's just for functionality and usability. I believe this is a 4-seater as well. This is your shifter, your seats. You have a radio, you have climate control, and you have a little clock there, Classy. And, the steering wheel is nice. Every single part of this car is nice. Again, 2-seater rear seats. Like I said, these are strangely weird in that they're like buckety seats, like front seats, because there's only 2 of them. Again, this car is very, you can tell with the wide cars, like, especially the Endeavor. In, like, their gauge clusters and stuff, you feel that wideness, that chunkiness right there, In this one, it's just so narrow, you kind of feel like you're in a Mitsubishi Mirage. But still not bad. Like I said, the dashboard is perfect, and you can tell by the lack of cracks. This is a 2003, which is now 21 years ago. I believe so. 21 years ago, 21-year-old car. Remember, think of, like, in your childhood, or, like, the 2010s for most people, right? And think about, like, 20-year-old car then. And how many cracks you'd have on the dashboard. This thing is beautiful. Look at that. No cracks. No even seam. Like, it's not jutting out at all. This is Toyota build quality. I always talk about, a lot of other companies don't really... It's this weird paradox where, like, older luxury brands and older cars, it's very hard to explain. Essentially, Toyota's build quality is great in their cheaper cars, but not a lot of people talk about it because Lexus has even better build quality. But Toyota compares very, like a Hyundai from 2003, that dashboard is probably already gone, right? This one, it's mint condition. It doesn't even need to change. This is the car I was talking about. This one is in amazing, excellent condition. This looks like, I remember, a lot of people in my neighborhood also just bought these. They were cheaper than the Pilot. They're still good, whatever. You know, good generation. People trusted Subaru back then. They were kind of like the outdoorsy brand. This is just a very well-preserved one, just to show you. Of course, it has all the documentation and stuff. This one's $7,900. Remember, you can find these for $3,000, $4,000. I just picked this one to kind of show off the features of this vehicle. Again, just great, that plastic cladding. Everything's great. It is painted, though, which makes it look nice. Your all-wheel drive Subaru system, you know, Forester. Just great. These just are amazing cars to drive, and they're very stylish, too, you know, especially for 2003. You know, this looked pretty good. And another thing, the other SUVs, like the Forester is right now competing with the RAV4 and CR-V, but starting off, like this is a 2003 and this is a 2003, and you can see that the Forester has always kind of been that bigger, larger vehicle than the other competitors, right? Again, a very stylish, nice interior. I've always loved the Mocha, just style and design. And when you're sitting in this thing, you sit very high off the ground. You have that SUV stance. Cloth seats, of course. Come on, stop complaining. This car is great. If you ever end up with one, it's great. Just buy one of these if you need to go some light off-roading. This thing will do it. And a daily driver as well. This would make an excellent daily driver. You also have heated seats, which for 2003 was stinking awesome. You have your Subaru stereo system there, and, you know, not much else to talk about. And the last one on this list is, God, the 2004 Volvo XC90. Of course, this has like the weird like domino diagonal lights instead of the more stripy ones that they had later on. Double, you know, I'm just going to shout words at this car and you can probably tell. It has a double folding rear tailgate, or all-wheel drive, and it's overall just a great car. Now, one thing that I did find weird is how the sunroof opens. It folds under, you know, like with my weird RAV4 I had a 2015, it would just get a dunk, 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 dunk on the roof, you know, it'd stick up and jut out, you know, on the roof. You could obviously tell that it's open. Like with a lot of those Mercedes with the, like, extra large ones, you can see it just hanging off the back like a spoiler. This thing actually retracts in, which is weird. It's problematic, but it's also kind of funny and weird. These cars last forever. These have been proven to last forever. This is essentially a Land Cruiser. I wouldn't put it up there with the Land Cruiser because remember, again, there's that double folding tailgate. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Beautiful design. I wouldn't say it's up there with a Land Cruiser, but I would say in terms of reliability, but in capabilities, I would say yes, right? These cars are just amazing. If you can find one of these for a decent price, that's great. This one's close to $7,000, 105,000 miles, and, you know, just not bad at all. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.